The post-PSB paradigm, how high-trust system rebuilt identity, economy, and meaning. Escaping productive suffering bias is not a matter of trying to be less miserable. It requires a full paradigm shift. How identity is constructed, how institutions generate legitimacy, how economies create values, how societies metabolize ease, how humans interpret meaning. High trust systems are not simply more comfortable, they run on an entirely different cognitive, institutional, and economic architecture. This final part outlines that architecture. The post PSB mental model. Here is the cleanest definition. Post PSB societies replace pain-based legitimacies with coherent-based legitimacy. Pain is no longer the proof of effort. Coherences, meaning, is no longer extracted from endurance. It emerges from alignment between values, competence, institutions, incentives, collective trust. This creates a radical, more stable metabolic ecosystem. Post-PSB identity. The shift from I suffer, therefore I matter, to I contribute, therefore I matter. Identity is no longer built on endurance. PSB identity no longer about you can trust me because I suffer for this. Post PSB identity is you can trust me because I deliver value predictably. Honor shifts from pain tolerance to mastery. Mastery becomes the moral center. Precision, scale, elegance, consistency, reliability, clarity. These produce authentic legitimacy without requiring pain rituals. Emotional regulation becomes a societal norm. Post-PSB societies stabilize serotonin, long-term equanimity, oxytocin, trust and bonding, dopamine, creativity. This reduces the existential need for pain as identity fuel. Post-PSB institutions, from hardship signaling to stability signaling. In high-trust systems, institutions demonstrate legitimacy through predictability, clear rules, transparent process. Pain is replaced by intelligibility. Competence, roles match expertise. Merit isn't a threat, it is an asset. Low cognitive load. Systems are designed to reduce friction, not glorify it. Ease becomes a feature, not a suspicious luxury. Accountability without fear. Wrong decisions are corrected, not weaponized. Automation as moral progress. Anything that removes unnecessary suffering is good governance, not laziness. This architecture transforms institutions into metabolic amplifiers, not extraction engines. Post-PSB economics. Why ease produces more wealth than pain? This is where the world has quietly flipped out, upside down. Post-PSB economics runs on creative leverage. symbolic value, brand resonance, digital distribution, network effects, design thinking, effortless adoption. In this paradigm, friction destroys value, ease multiplies it, mastery expresses itself through simplicity, scale come from elegance, not toil. Pain creates local output, ease create global output. Those high trust society, those high trust economies consistently outperform PSB economies even with fewer resources. Post PSB culture, replacing hardship myth with coherence myths. Every civilization needs a story. Post PSB cultures build story around it. Mastery as destiny. Progress is driven by refinement, not suffering. Trust as civic superpower. Trust becomes the cheapest and most powerful economic lubricant. Play as legitimate form of innovation. If creativity leads to output, it's valid, even if it feels effortless. Prosperity without guilt. Years is not morally suspect, it is a sign of civilization, adulthood. Beauty and elegance as functional. Design is not decorative, it is structural intelligence made visible. This narrative gives society's psychological permission to exit PSB, post-PSB social dynamics. The end of extraction culture. Leaving PSB means leaving behind envy-driven redistribution, predatory social norms, success, punishment, false humility rituals, hypervigilance networks, and replacing them with collaborative scaling, mutual prestige creation, esteem as a shared asset, boundaries as a norm, low drama communication. People stop draining each other and begin amplifying each other. The three non-negotiables for a post-PSB society: structural trust scaffold, clear laws, transparent institution, predictable norms, cognitive surplus. People must be freed from survival mode so they can invest attention into creativity, learning, planning, innovation, meaning frameworks that do not require pain. Societies need identity anchors not built on suffering, but on science, mastery, craft, beauty, philosophy, civic excellence, generativity, global participation. Without this, people regress into PSB reflexes. Why most PSB cultures struggle to transition? Because PSB is not just a belief, it is an ecosystem. It fuels institutions, it shapes status, it regulates emotions, it dictates storytelling, it defines legitimacy, it structures economic norms. Transition happen only when brain drain hits a tipping point. External model provide better meaning. Youngest generation reject pain-based morality. Institutions lose authority. trust networks form from scratch. This is slow but not impossible. The post-PSB human, a new cognitive and emotional template. A person raised in high trust post-PSB environment carries low reactivity, stable self-worth, mastery-based identity, respect for ease, comfort with success, cooperative reflexes, innovation mindset, healthy ambition, low envy baseline. This is the psychological architecture that enables modern societies to grow without cannibalizing themselves. Closing, what comes after the myth of pain? The post-PSB society doesn't deny suffering, it simply stops worshipping it. Pain becomes an occasional cost, not existential compass. Effort becomes a means, not a moral theatre. Progress decouples from punishment. Prosperity decouples from guilt. Identity decouples from endurance. And civilization finally transitions from survival, coherence, elegance, and then abundance. When this series here, but the framework is not complete.